Hello, ladies and gentlemen. World famous Gen Z rock star, genius Connor O'Farrell here, explaining today if Megadeth are in fact Megadeth, but it's written Deeth, are in fact slop or not. Is Megadeth slop? How are we going to figure this out? We're going to look at what is in fact slop. We're going to look at how to detect slop. We're going to look at how much slop does Megadeth have. Are Megadeth even talented? And then we're going to look at if and then finally, we're going to look at where I determine if Megadeth are in fact slop or not. So, what is slop? You might be asking. Right? That's the right question to be asking, by the way. Anyways, guns. You gotta get the guns show. You gotta get the guns out. Anyways, I gotta do that every once in a while. I forgot to do that in the last couple of videos. Anyways, Megadeth. We look at our music matrix here. We look at energy from 0 to 11, Spinal Tap reference. Now, 8 to 11 seems to be the metal zone. Metal zone like the boss pedal. Now 5 to 8 turns to be the punk zone. This under 8 tends to be the low energy zone, jazz, country, blues, indie, classical, whatever you want to call it. When you cross a 7 in terms of catchiness, you add the word. If it was an indie song and it became catchy, now it's indie pop. If it was a punk song and it became catchy, now it's a rock, punk, Green Day, that Green Day song, American Idiot's a rock song or it's a punk song, whatever. You add it. Right? If you get a really catchy song like Symphony of Destruction, just like the Pied Piper, it becomes not only metal, but it also could be described as a rock song played on rock radio. Rock fans wouldn't be like, turn this off. This isn't catchy. This is garbage. It's slop. So things to the right of the slop index, the slop line, this is the slop zone, right? So you don't want to end up there. Now, energy is pretty easy. We can see if you're going to the gym, if you're going for a run, and you put on some music and it gives you energy, you can tell pretty fast because it works. It's good music to run to. But if it's low energy, you're not getting energy, and you change it until you find something with the desired energy. If you're trying to max out on a workout like a bench press, you're taking something at freaking 11, Slipknot or something. You're not going for catchiness, and you're not going for, low energy. So energy can be perceived by how much energy it actually gives someone when they're listening. Are people dancing, moshing, everything, etc.? Catchiness, this is a little bit trickier. How do we figure out what catchy is and when catchy isn't present? Now, lots of things factor into, I gotta move my friggin' flat mower. My flat mower is a little bit twisted up. What is happening here? What is friggin' happening? I'm gonna shoot no one. No one's getting shot. We're all good. I can be trusted with a firearm. Okay, what the frick happened? No. That is not right. No, what the frick? The frick? Pickle Rick! Okay, this is just freaking me out. This is scary, like Final Fantasy. Okay. Can you even see that now? Can you even see that? Can you even see? Yeah, you can see it. Anyways, so, when we're talking about friggin' catchiness, predictability is the biggest way to knock out if something is definitely going to be slop. If something's completely corny, it's going to be slop. If something's completely incoherent, it's going to be slop. That's how predictable it is if you're listening to something, right? Is this too low? Can you still read it? Let me see. Tinkle hands. Oh, shoot. You might not be able to read that. Let's see if I move this up a little bit. Let's move this up a little bit. There we go. You should be able to read that still. Let's see. Just like the Pied Piper, red rats through the city streets, dance like the marionette, swang to a symphony of destruction. You take a mortal man. Anyways, completely corny, completely incoherent. This is where you get slop guaranteed. If something's in the money zone, it's not in either of the slop zones. It's either balanced like Back in Black by AC/DC or a little bit zany like Bohemian Rhapsody. Or if it's something right in the sweet spot like Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, which is a little zanier than Back in Black, but it's clearly a little more balanced and a little more predictable than Bohemian Rhapsody. These things can get up into the hit quality zone, smash hit, this kind of thing. This is quality, right? The hit quality. This is decent B-side, whatever, deep cut for fans. This is for fans, only fan zone. This is slop. This is only fans. This is hit territory, right? Anyways, hit quality aside, now that I've actually got the whole thing pretty fixed up, we're going to look at how much of Megadeth is bad, is good, is otherwise, how much is just like the Pied Piper, which led rats, in fact, through the city street. I don't know if you knew about that. He led rats through the city street. Yeah, I'm slung the marionette. And Okay, these are some archetypes. These are some distributions. You can look at these yourself if you'd like to. Weezer's a good example of slop only or hits only, very little material that's either not great or god-awful. David Bowie, mostly god-awful. Though there's good hits, relative to everything he did, he made 8 million songs, 7,999,999 are all garbage, slop. So that just made indentations. Here is where I think we're probably going to find Megadeth. It's probably a combination of classic catalog and a 50-50 catalog where it's about even. Led Zeppelin, Nine Inch Nails, they have slop about 1/3. 1/3 is good stuff for fans. 1/3 is great stuff for everyone. Now, Megadeth, I would say it's closer to half-half. There's less duds. So if I'm going to sketch this on our little thing, I'm keeping track of everything we did on all these slides. I'm going to put Megadeth kind of a line going upward like that. But I'm going to leave room for some duds and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be basically, there's basically going to be probably about double the number of stuff for fans and double the number of hits that there is going to be actual pure bad stuff. Bye, Mark. I'll see you later. Okay. Then we're going to look at, are they talented? Are they good at writing? And do they have a good brand? Now, for some people, they don't care about how many songs are slop. They just care if I can buy the t-shirt at Walmart and walk around in my cool logo. If you just care about walking around in your cool logo at Walmart, this is the category for you. Brand. Brand, the past, historical, present impact is going to be green, which is good. Aesthetics are going to be green. I'm going to take that down. Now we're going to look at stage design, outfits, logos, everything. I'm going to say album art, they get a green. They're really good. Lead singer, guitarist, drummers, all these guys are goated virtuoso musicians, so to speak. And have their own unique styles. You look at Marty Friedman. You look at even, I remember the latest guy, Kiko. You look at David Ellefson before he got kicked out of the band. You look at Dave Mustaine. You look at any of these guys. They fit this, so they get a green there. And then you look at tones, solos, riffs, melodies, chords, lyrics, live show, songwriting. They get a green for me. I'm going to put green there, but it's a waste of time. They're a 3-quadrant band, as I would say, and I'm going to mark this down for us, meaning that if you just care about wearing a t-shirt at the store with a cool logo on it and everything like that in a band that's well known, you're going to like it. If you just care about brand, if you just care about catchy songs, you're going to like them. If you just care about virtuoso musicians, you're also going to like them. So now we can finally figure out if Megadeth are slop and or not. I know I've been a little irritated, a little off the ball with this video, so I appreciate you guys sticking around, sticking through, and not going to Apu. Apu is my competitor. That guy from The Simpsons, he's freaking real. Apu is real, and he lives in the sewers, and he comes up at night and he steals all my beer. I don't even drink beer, but Apu stole it. What's happening? Where am I? I'm scared and aroused. Now, I really hope there's some audio coming through. Hello? Hello? I'm going to be really scared if there's no audio. I'm going to have to listen back to this video. Anyways, most people look at what are the top 10. Now, Apu is not going to win. Apu, you're not going to win, okay? Go back to Canada, okay, Apu? That's where he's from, in canon, in my canon, in real life, not in the show. Now, people usually don't think of, oh, what's the best song versus this other band's best song if I think one's better. Is Motorhead better than David Bowie? You're like, usually you don't think about the average quality of their entire catalog or just their top songs. Usually think about a couple of the top songs. You think about the songs that you remember, which I would say for most people is the top 10. So here, we're going to look at Connor's top 10. I picked Symphony of Destruction, Holy Wars, Tornado of Souls, Angry Again, Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? Sweating Bullets, Hangar 18. Warheads will all rest in peace, but wake up dead. And but spoiler alert, they are a 3-quadrant band. They are good for people who just care about musicianship, songs, people who just care about brands. Their catalog looks like this. Here's the slop. You can tell us, it gives us a hint, and they are low on controversy because they are a 3-quadrant band. They're low on controversy. Not only are they low on slop concentration, they're low on controversy, and we look at their top 10 songs, they have an 8.2 in terms of energy. They seem to be kind of on a little bit of the lower end of intensity for metal. But that's because you do have screamo, you have death metal, you have all these things, right? You have, Black Dahlia Murder, you've got Ask Me Alexander, what is it, Slaughter to Prevail. But you got all these bands that are much heavier, much higher energy, though a lot of them tend to be lower on the catchiness, so they get called metal while not getting called rock. Now here we're going to see Megadeth, 8.2 on the metal. So in terms of energy, they are in the metal zone, talking about the boss pedal. They're in the metal zone, and then you go over to a 9 in terms of catchiness. So the songs you would say are poppier than most metal, and they are considered metal and rock. When you go across the slop line, when you go out of the slop zone, you enter the rock zone, and rock is like marrying a man. You take his last name, ladies. And so if you're a Latina, hit me up if you want a new last name. Just kidding. I'm not going to marry you. Now, but I will take you out, and I will change your last name legally to something different. Not my last name, something different. I don't know, but it's going to be exciting for you. Now, let's take a look. Yeah, so Megadeth, I'm going to say rock and or metal. They're going to end up right about here, but if you look at the rest of the catalog, it's probably going to pull a little bit like this. But in general, they end up in the rock zone because Megadeth usually doesn't write songs that aren't that catchy. If you're really going to say they go down anywhere, it's probably going to be around here if you had to draw the whole catalog, as a scatter plot. So that's what I think about Megadeth. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. I did one on friggin' every other band. Go check it out. Like, comment, subscribe. Please like. And if you're a Latina, hit me up. Instagram in the comments. Bye.